Crowds descended on the Boston Common for the Rally for the Republic. Organizers say this event was held because many attendees at the free speech rally could not be heard due to unrest.
The point was to make sure that the people who did not get to speak back in August had their chance to speak. That's pretty much the basics of it.
This was actually a sequel of the first one.
This pretty much was, yes. We invited people like, Kyle Chapman, Ronaldo De Gallo, Tammy Lee, and Joey Gibson. We added on. Joey Gibson volunteered to add on to the list, so we were happy to have his involvement. But this was mainly essentially an attempt to redo the last rally.
Although there were tense exchanges between rally attendees and counter-protesters, the rally went forward, with attorney and Bernie Sanders supporter Ronaldo Del Gallo as the first speaker.
I'm involved in the lawsuit that made today possible. I filed petitions in Pittsfield for transgender rights, for sanctuary city statutes. I'm an environmentalist. I have passed many bans on plastic bags and styrofoam, animal rights. I ran for state senate as a Bernie Sanders progressive before the First Amendment. That's why I filed a lawsuit to allow today to happen, and I think it was successful.
The program included many speakers, including Kyle Basic Man Chapman, who spoke negatively of the counter-protesters.
What you see over here are people that have embraced an ideology that has led to the death of well over 150 million people worldwide. We are on the side of God. They are on the side of evil. When 40,000 of these idiots showed up at our last rally, did that stop us? No! 40,000. It did not stop us. When I showed up at Berkeley as one man against 300 Antifa and me and a handful of patriots fought them at the odds of 10 to 1, we fought back and we won that day. We won at the first Battle of Berkeley and we handed them their ass at the second Battle of Berkeley. I'm facing 8 years in prison for my actions at the first Battle of Berkeley, and I have not stopped. I have detached my bicep. I have fractured my hands multiple times. My cars have been repeatedly vandalized. I have been ambushed and attacked by Antifa. I will not stop. They will not stop me. And I hope all of you have this same spirit. Do not let them stop you either.
Organizers also invited a member of the crowd to speak, Vermin Supreme.
I was on the speakers list last time. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in this morning, even though the gentleman was telling the cop, "Come on in, he's with us," yada yada, and I was pretty much headed that way. But then they said, "No, don't do that," and so I couldn't get in. Now I'm not saying I wanted to, but I wanted to have due diligence. I wanted to see if I could. Okay? Because once again, it's great being president of all of America, but it's sad that once again we can't all agree politically. And I know that many of your viewers and perhaps many of the attendees here today may be fans, may enjoy my work, but I hate them politically.
Although some were detained, there was less tumult from a crowd that included South Shore residents.
It brought me out here today partly just to watch what was going on. I wanted to see what the left was doing or how they would react to the right coming out here. I believe in free speech for all, and I don't believe in violence or that we should have to have violence to have a political discourse or talk about it. And I just wanted to see what was going on. And I saw a lot of medics out here as well to help out with any injured, which I appreciated as well.
Following the rally, participants left under a heavy police presence for the State House, where vocal opposition continued. They marched once again in a crowd that included legal observers.
Just observing to make sure everyone's rights are protected, regardless of orientation. I can't be on my own court.
So you're here to make sure that basically
rights are protected.
I took the 23.
The Parkman Bandstand is now empty. The Rally for the Republic has ended. The participants in that rally, they have all gone. Most of the protesters, counter-protesters, they're gone. Things are returning back to normal here on the Boston Common when what was a far less chaotic event than what took place back in August. Reporting from the Boston Common, Dan McCready, WATD News.